Yeah, good afternoon all. Am I audible? Yeah, very warm welcome to Unacademy channel. Sorry. I hope all of you are fine. Good afternoon, Panda and Sahan. Many of you are waiting from long time. Yeah, I did. Good afternoon. Sorry for delay. As you know, it's a first session, but due to personal reasons, I was not able to join the session on time. But we are on right track. In this session, we'll be looking at introduction to compiler design. Right. आपको पता होगा compiler is the weightage is increased from 5 to 7 or 8 marks. Last 2 to 3 years, the compiler design has much weightage compared to the previous 30 years. The last 2 to 3 years में क्या हुआ है? तो कोड ऑप्टिमाइजेशन एक्स्ट्रा सिलेबस ऐड किया है और जो कंपाइलर का वेटेज जो है तो 4 to 5 marks आता था, अभी 7 or 8 marks. You can literally find the weightage for compiler design. Huh? Great. So it's a very small subject. Anybody who is not having the theory of computation knowledge, it's okay. We will manage in compiler design. So in my classes, any of you are not studied theory of computation, it's okay. We will manage because all the basics which are required from TOC we will study in compiler only. I don't expect that you know TOC and you don't know mathematics, programming, but if you have the knowledge, it's a very well. If you don't have, you can manage well. It's a very simple funda, like while you are coding the programs like C programming, have you studied compiler? No, right? Without studying compiler, you have written the programs. There's a wonder, Is a third, I don't know which wonder it is, but it's a wonder in the world. You should have the compiler knowledge before writing C programs, but we did that. The same way, you can study the compilers without knowing the TOC. What is that? Right? Any concepts which are required for compiler, you can study in compiler itself. What do you want? Okay, many people study compiler without knowing TOC. That's fine. Yeah. So in last session we have disclosed all the dates for compiler design. You can watch the last day session on the same channel. You'll find the entire schedule for compiler. Okay, every alternate day you will have a compiler. So today and tomorrow you don't have the class, and day after tomorrow. So almost you have the more than 10 classes for the compiler. Okay, let's start. Okay, great. Right. Without starting, don't worry about how many lectures. I'm not going to take your time for 1 year, right? In this month itself, will complete the syllabus, right? So आपको ये पता होना चाहिए how to learn the subject, not how to, how many days it takes, how long it takes, how I teach. ये तो obvious, right? You can believe it that I will definitely complete the subject. So just keep the faith and have the faith that we will do it best way. Right. Okay, San. Can we start? It's a lecture number 1, so you don't need to worry about what will happen, what happened. So it's a first lecture. अब देखो, अगर कोई भी, if anybody not started your preparation and you want to start your preparation for the GATE, you can come to Unacademy, and every educator has a profile. My profile is here, so you can visit this profile, click on follow. You can access to every free classes that I take on Unacademy, like TOC compiler I take usually on Unacademy. So you can access all the free classes like daily practice problems and guidance classes, and anything that I do on Unacademy, you can freely access, and if you click on follow, what happens? You'll get daily notifications of my classes, so you can join immediately when you get a notification. Okay, that's advantage. And you know, Unacademy is giving an offer like 9,999. You get an access to everything, like, you know, you can access to CSIT batch, DA batch. How many batches? Not 1, 2, 3, 4. If we start 50 batches in a year, you can access to all the 50 batches in just 9,999. So this is something different, you know, compared to any other platform that you see in the world. That like 10,000, you can even access to hundreds of batches in Unacademy. Like not just batches, you can also, you know, attend the interview batches, coding batches, and practice batches. What else you have? Test series, and all comes under just one price, that is 9,999. So this is what the beauty of Unacademy right now, what you have. And wherever we work, we definitely work for the students, and we do best for the students. That's what happening right now. 9,999, you will never see on any platform that you get this many things in one place. That is why the Unacademy is one subscription, you get everything. Like you see a lot of students that they have secured the best ranks this year, and this is what, you know, the limited period offer. The date is not mentioned when will be expiring, and it's supposed to expire yesterday, but it's going to be, you know, extending for many days, few more days, like limited period offer. You can use a code CSDA code to avail this. You know, for 9 months, that's what we are dealing with. 9 months, you are getting 9,999 for plus iconic. You have 15,999 for same 9 months. The code is same for every time, CSDA, and the date is the limited period offer, so you can avail before expires. And 2 years also you have an offer, 17,999 for plus and iconic. And many people ask, sir, what is the difference between plus and iconic? The iconic has an advantage, like everything which is there in the plus, that means you can access to recorded, you can access to live, you can access to test series, everything. But additionally, one thing is that you get the printed material like physical notes. Second, you get one-to-one mentorship in iconic subscription. So this is why, you know, that is the reason you will get, you will have the price 23,999 compared to this one. Okay, same code you can use to avail this offer right now. Okay, so there are many batches which are going to be started soon. 13th July, you are going to see that, you know, DBMS by Vijay Kumar sir. Like the name of the batch is Pratishtha for 1 year 2025, right? 2 years also same subjects, and you also have a Pratishtha for the same, you know, subject. You have it. So all of them you can start in the same time. And anybody want to take only test is not a subscription, then you also have an offer 1,499. You know, this test series, computer science or data science, it's also part of the subscription. In case if you don't take the subscription, then only you can purchase only test series at 1,499, but the code is CSDA. Use that code to avail the test series price at 1,499. Even data science also same price. And are we ready right now? Oh, great. Yeah, Aspire. We are always do the mistakes, and obviously the mistakes are acceptable, and always depends on what you do right now, not what you have done in the past. Okay, even you do the mistakes, and you know what you will what you are talking right now, you will never know what you are, right? So don't worry about us, you worry about you, what you want to do in your life. Okay, that's great. POC already start kiya hum gaming, and only the last chapter is missing, like Turing machine. I will be doing in the next month. Great. True, Panda. Watching lectures and solving PYQs may not be enough, but come to our free classes and learn, you know, many things from us, you know, asking doubts and practice daily practice problems, what we do in the Unacademy free classes. Yeah. Krishna Soni, I can see your doubts. First learn, you will know it is full course or short term course, right? Having nothing is, you know, having something is better than nothing, you know that, right? We came here and to give you the best thing what we can deliver, and anything what we do on YouTube is better than any other YouTube course, remember that. what we do on this channel is better than any other channel, we promise. Not today, we'll be there till the end of the exam, right? Just not for the exam, even after the exams we'll be there. Maybe we are here and there, but we are always there with you. Only the thing is, you have to realize, if you are new to this platform, it's okay. But if you are the old student, you will never ask us what you are doing, right? Right. Gaming स्टार्ट होगा, ऑलरेडी स्टार्ट तो किया है, बट यू आर नॉट अवेयर दैट, आई गेस. अभी रेडी? जो भी हो, अगर इन केस इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड, यू आस्क मी सर टीच इन हिंदी, टीच इन इंग्लिश, व्हाटएवर आपको चाहिए, you can ask us, but I try to deliver in both of them, in Hindi and English. In case if you're not in from north, then definitely you should understand English. If you're not from south, then you should understand Hindi. But if you are anywhere, if you are comfortable in both of them, it's fine. Okay, I hope abhi to start kar sakte hain. We will start now. Okay, तो इस सेशन में हम ये कवर करेंगे. इट्स अ स्मॉल सेशन बिकॉज ये पहले दिन है. So I want you to keep very small and understand ये what is compiler, ये compiler क्या है, what is compiler. तो compiler के बाद हम कितने phases है compiler के अंदर वो भी करने वाला है हम. What are the phases of the compiler, we will be doing that. And how many types of errors वो भी करने वाला है हम. And what is symbol table. तो इससे बहुत सारे गेट क्वेश्चंस भी दिखेगा, क्योंकि गेट क्वेश्चंस में ये भी होता है, बेसिक से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस होता है. Sure. If anybody contacting me, I never objected. Why are you talking to me? Why are you calling me? Why are you messaging me? I'm very happy. If you want to talk to me, if you want to contact me, I'm very happy that you can, I will feel very happy, if I'm helping, somebody who wanted to, achieve his dream, and, it's obvious, right? Maybe very few educators in the world are in India that you can contact with them directly, but I'm promising you that if you want to talk to me, I'll definitely give you a time to talk with you, and I'm happy for that. I've never ignored anybody till today. Like, why should I talk to you? Because that's not the motto of any of the educator in the world. If any educator want to help the student, he has to give the time either today or tomorrow. But I try on the same day. If possible, I'll give the time to you. Don't worry about it. I'm there for you. I will try to help you. It's not just for compiler. If any difficulty comes in your gate preparation, believe that our team always there with you. In the team, if one or two people are really busy because of the managing and scheduling, all these things, but many educators are there for you, and that's why we always think in ahead of everybody else. That is why reason yesterday we have given the complete schedule of all the subjects for you, and believe us, and we started before 3 months back, and we are keep motivating the students. Like, even you wanted to learn freely, there are so many ways. That is what this lecture is about. Okay. Yeah, anybody want to avail the PDF? Yes, you can just use this Deva Sir Unacademy, right? This is a Telegram channel name. You can come there and you can download the PDF. I'll share the PDF immediately after the session, so you can access the PDF of this class immediately. Okay, let's start the session. Introduction to compiler design. Are we ready? Pritam, not required anything. Yeah, don't ask any other doubt. Yeah. Okay. So, in the introduction to the compiler design, as I said, what is a compiler? What is a compiler? Many people are aware of compiler. It gives, you can take the source code and it produces what? Target code. Do you know exactly what is source code and target code? It depends on what kind of compiler you are talking about. It could be input C or C++ or Java, A target code is what? Assembly code or a machine code? Exactly what you are talking about. So it requires a knowledge of the compiler. So many people say many ways, right? But I'm going to talk about the compiler design, which is there in the GATE syllabus, which is source code. If you are talking about C language, you can take C code and output is a target code as assembly code. So there should be assembler after the compiler that can compile or that can translate assembly code into the machine code later on. But अभी जो compiler हम पढ़ने वाला है वो whatever we are going to study, that compiler has few phases and that phases we are going to talk about in our syllabus. Okay, it's not 4 to 7 marks, and from the last 3 years its average is 6 to 7 marks. So you can expect 6 to 7 marks in the exam. But I said right in the beginning, the compiler has less weightage before 2 to 3 years, but from the last 2 to 3 years the compiler has more weightage and equal weightage compared to other subjects too. PYQs will be practiced in the class itself. Don't worry about anything else. What, you know, the first day is very important to handle your doubts, especially, sir, do you have any textbook to prefer? No, not required. If you are really following every class, what I deliver, what I help you, you know, the entire suggestions, all the suggestions are there in our class. If you follow my classes and if you follow the guidelines, what I help you, and that would be sufficient. Don't worry anything, just blindly start the compiler. At the end of the day you will realize what we have learned. Okay, so please don't ask any other doubt. I am not going to reply if it is not related to the it's a subject. Okay, let's begin. What is a compiler? Compiler is a what? Is it hardware? Is it software? Is it combined? What is it? Anybody? It's absolutely software, no doubt about it. But it is executable code. It is what? Executable code. वो क्या करेगा? What it will do? It takes the source code and produces a target code. That means it is a code that takes a code and produces a code. यार, how many codes are there? कितने codes है यहाँ पर? 3 codes. एक जो है ये code है, executable code है, और ये ले रहा है what it takes the C code and produces assembly code. Everybody, so this is what it is, executable code. If you run on any machine, this compiler is executable on some machine. Sorry, it takes source code and produces target code. Okay, everybody. अरे अभी pumping lemma क्या जरूरत है आपको? Tambo is a compiler, right? Are you spamming the class? No, right? So आपको पता होना चाहिए what is compiler. तो आप बताइए what is compiler. Compiler is a program that translates one program to other program. Correct? So what is a compiler? It is a program that translates source program to the target, right? But ये जो program है executable and takes the source and translates to the target. आपको पता होना चाहिए ये जो program है executable, ये जो program है let's say C code and target जो है assembly as per our syllabus. Or if you look at carefully about the compiler, you give a source, it translates to target and produces what? The target, and also it reports if any errors, right? Like compilation errors. It also reports if any. Great. Right. So if anyone coming to the session and wasting our time and your time, please you can handle that. I'm not going to look at anybody else from now onwards. Our motto is very simple. We want to help the students who wanted to learn from us, and definitely there is no other object except learning in these sessions. Okay, one object is like we are teaching on Unacademy. Definitely you should know about Unacademy, like what we do on Unacademy, because वहाँ पर आपको क्या होगा, वहाँ पर not just sessions, right? You will be getting interactive sessions, doubt sessions, and what else, practice sessions, and so many things are there. So we'll definitely help what a student required for the cracking the GATE exam. If you just want to prepare, like, you have the absolutely right content at this channel, and always we welcome to interact with us, not just the class, even after the class also we are always there for you. Let's look at apart from compiler, I said like phases of compiler. How many phases are there in a compiler? Anyone? Any idea how many phases are there in a compiler? Just to give source program or source code, how many phases are there? Any idea from anyone? We'll get here assembly code, right? Total 7 phases are there. How many? 7 phases. Great. Sheila, it is beneficial, not just interview. If you want to become a good coder, compiler always you should learn, because compiler is the only way you can write a good program. Everybody knows that. If I want to become a good coder, I should learn about compiler, interpreter, which programming the support requires. You always remember, if you are good at compiler or compilation process or interpretation process, then you will always good at programming languages. So one of the advantages for C, C++, Java is learn the compiler best way, so that you will get to know what you are writing in properly. So this is what your program does, translation to assembly code. If you don't know what you are writing, then you will never know what you are translating to. How the machine will understand if you don't know how to translate, correct? So you should know how to translate the C code into assembly code. But today, most of the programmers don't worry about how the high level language translates to the machine dependent language. Because of that reason, the many people suffers after completing the code. There are so many errors which depends on the machine. So you are not able to handle the machine dependent the logics. That is the reason you should know about compiler. Okay. If you are not worried about your ultimate output, then definitely you can write whatever the output you want it. Great. So what is this one? One is called as lexical analysis. What is the name of the first phase? Lexical analysis, also called as lexical phase. ये जो second phase है, syntax phase. Third जो phase है, semantic phase. Fourth, any idea? Intermediate code generator. And this one, intermediate code optimization. Or this one, code generation. And this one, target code generator or assembly code generator. Or assembly code optimization. I'm very sorry. Assembly code optimization. That's a better. Code generator is already done. This is assembly code generator, and you need to optimize it. to assembly code optimization. This is called as assembly code generator. I'm very sorry. This is called as assembly code generator and it is called as assembly code optimizer. अब इनको पता करने के लिए पूरा कंपाइलर डिजाइन आपको पढ़ना होगा. You have to study the entire compiler design chapter by chapter to know what is it, right? Right. आज पहले दिन है और इस सेशन में in case if you want to understand all these phases in a single day may not be possible and may be impossible to learn in a single day. Okay. So what is the input? The source code, also called as, you can say, character stream, because it is sequence of characters, right? And what will be the output of the lexical phase? Is a token stream. It recognizes tokens and produces the tokens. And what is the syntax phase? It produces the parse tree by looking at structure or syntax of the program. And semantic phase is annotated parse tree. And what is the ICG? It will produce intermediate code or intermediate representation. And what is the code optimizer job? To optimize this code. In that process, it will produce the same code. And code generator job is to produce the assembly code. And this optimizer is not same as this optimizer, even though it uses a similar logic, but it produces the optimized assembly code. You already have it. Okay. When anybody joining other than IITs, please don't ask about the placements. No guarantee good placements in any NIT, so that you know or you should know about it. Okay, it all depends on your IQ or your try, your hard work, and do not depend on any NITs. Of course, top NITs, 2 to 3 NITs, they may have the good placements, but not guaranteed that too. Okay, so only what you can say, even new IIT or old IIT, you will have the very good placements because of the faculty, because of the resources. But other places you have to learn for joining any NIT. Like Sheila. ACO. Oh, are you worried about the abbreviation right now? This is assembly code optimization. I was waiting for this doubt and I was speaking when I was writing it. Okay, this is the code generation. I'm not expected this doubt. Still, it's okay. Code generation. This is intermediate code optimization. It's a chapter, right? Separate chapter. You will be learning it. This one, intermediate code generator, semantic phase, and so on. So this is about the phases of compiler. Yeah, PB. You know, I had some medical emergency, so that was the reason. You know, you cannot, sometimes you have to accept some difficulties that you face in your life, right? So, adha ghanta late, yeah, you have, there is no restriction like I should start at 2. But still, I came to the classes even after difficulties. I went to the hospital and came back and then started the session. And all this happening because of I like the students, so I have to do it. But आपको इतने questions पूछना, you have to cross check why are you asking all these things. Okay, you should accept your difficulties in your life, right? You cannot question anybody in the life unless you do really best. This is one thing that you should learn in your life. You should accept all the difficulties in your life. Because today अगर आप आज की difficulties आज ही face करके छोड़ दिया तो you may have lot of difficulties in your life. You learn outcome of that failures, outcome of that past experience, like what should do, what should not do. Like, I want to crack the gate exam. What should be the best way to crack the gate exam? If you are losing the time, you cannot get back. Right? So don't waste unnecessarily, asking others. Like, we know what we are doing, and you should know what you should do. Correct? So now you know what are the phases of compiler. There are so many phases. Among them, 7 phases are design oriented, but practically you may not see 7 phases in separately. So आपको ये पता होना चाहिए these phases can be implemented different ways. Like, if one pass compiler, then this is all the phases can be implemented in a single pass. But sometimes it also happens like 2 pass. The output intermediate code may be here or here, doesn't matter, and other, you see that there's a pass 1 and pass 2. It's called as 2 pass compiler. You can also implement a 3 pass, 4 pass, depends on your requirement. And mostly today we use 2 pass compilers. 2 pass compilers have the ability to produce directly intermediate code, and the second pass it produces assembly code. So you can also check what is the intermediate code of your program by looking at the intermediate code that represented in different ways. That's okay. Two pass compiler is building your program or building your compiler in 2 modules indirectly. The one module is to club these 4 phases into one program or one module, and the other one is like building the 6, 7 separately or 5, 6, 7 separately, depends on your requirement. Okay, 2 pass, even 3 pass you want it, you can also do. Like, you can build this in 1 pass, or you can build in this 1 pass, or this 3 in other pass. So you can also build in 3 pass, 4 pass, 5 pass. The maximum you may build in 7 pass, depends on your requirement. But today the most favorite compiler is the 2 pass compiler. Okay. Got it? Any other doubts related to the pass or phases? Phases are different from passes. The passes will help us to build a compiler in a single pass or 2 passes. But remember that if it is 2 passes, then you can see the output of the compiler in after pass 1 also. But in pass 1, if it is single pass compiler, the output you can see directly assembly code. But if it is 2 pass compiler, you can also see intermediate code. If it is 3 pass compiler, you can also see the parse tree or something else, whatever the way you implement. Okay, if it is 4 pass compiler, you can see a lot of different outputs based on the implementation. Now you know what are the passes or phases of compiler. The phases basically individual design of the compiler. Passes is the lot of phases you can build or you can integrate into one as per your requirement. Now errors, ये तो बहुत बार आता है in C programming, other programmings. हम पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ने ये चेंज करके ये करना वो करना, because we have the flexibility to work here and there. Before joining, it's your responsibility to learn and to know where we are and where you should join, right? Yeah, Arif. Yes, Vishal. I'm trying to cover every topic which is required, and first day, so I'm replying to every query which is required. Otherwise, you can save your time to learn all these things. So how many types of errors are there? Any idea? There are 2 types of errors. Oh, not too many. Let's look at it. You may see preprocessor errors, because preprocessor can also produce an errors. You may see the compilation errors or compiler errors. You may see linker errors. You may see runtime errors. These are main types of errors that you see in general when you write a program. Preprocessor error. What is the preprocessor error? Any idea? Like you have written ash, but the include command that you have, instead of include, you have written somebody else. Like rather than include, you have said, let's say, inked, whatever it is. Okay, inked. Like you have missed 2 characters, then you have written something. Then the compiler, the preprocessor knows that, oh, the ash is my statement, but I'm not able to understand. So यहाँ पर आपको पता चलेगा, यार, this is not the proper. So this is kind of an error. Like not only this, there are many other ash statements are there. So you can understand all the preprocessor commands should be understood by preprocessor. अगर समझ नहीं आया, it has to produce an error. Which error? Preprocessor error. Next, compiler error. There are 3 types: lexical error, syntax error, and semantic error. And this is this is our chapter. तो आपको पता होगा, ये तो हम पढ़ने वाला है आगे. अभी तो इतना डिटेल नहीं देखेंगे. What is lexical, what is syntax, what is semantic? We'll get to know one by one in the corresponding chapters. And linker error, if you want to know linker error, you will write ash include statements, and let's say ash include p1.c, p2.c. then अगर वो फाइल जो लिंक करने के लिए कोशिश किया था, अगर फाइल अवेलेबल नहीं है, तो then it will produce an error. Okay, so linker has many advantages, like you can link multiple programs to feel like as a one program. तो इसलिए आपको पता नहीं होगा. So you are feeling that you are executing one program, but actually compiler को linker को पता है you are actually dealing with multiple programs by linking one with other. So linker is going to resolve all external results, all external references. It resolves all external references. ये references क्या होता है? What happens? It resolves all external references. What kind of references? Maybe variables, maybe functions. You write like something like printf. When you write a printf, it's not your implementation, right? ये तो stdio.h के अंदर implementation है. So who is going to link all these functions? The linker knows where is the printf, where is the scanf, where is other functions that you have written or that you have called but not exist in your file. Then linker का मतलब ये होता है, it has to resolve all the external the things. Yeah, Arif, I'll just request everyone, like we say that बीटेक में बहुत पैसे लगता है यार. बीटेक में पढ़ने के लिए लाखों लगाते, बट आपकी लाइफ के लिए सिर्फ 10,000 लगाने के लिए कोशिश करते हैं. यहाँ है आपके डिफरेंस. ऑफ कोर्स आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट यू शुड पे फॉर इट, बट जब आपकी बात आता है तो आप पढ़ने के लिए लाखों लगाते, बट आपकी करियर, आपकी लाइफ जो सही करने के लिए सिर्फ 10,000 नहीं लगाते. ये बात ही बोलना नहीं चाहिए. हम इतना फ्री पढ़ रहे हैं, फ्री भी पढ़ सकते हैं. अगर सब्सक्रिप्शन लेना है, सब्सक्रिप्शन भी ले सकते हैं. ये आपके पास इतना चॉइसेस है, फिर भी आप ओपन प्लेटफॉर्म में आके क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं ना, तो दिस इज रियली चैलेंजिंग. देखो, मैं बीटेक कर रहा था. आई डिड नॉट हैव इवन सिंगल रुपी टू पे फॉर एनी कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट. आई डिड माई सेल्फ. अगर आपको पढ़ना है, सेल्फ प्रिपेयर करना है, कर सकते, बट आपकी एडवांटेज लेना है, टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना है. यू हैव टू टेक द बेस्ट एडवांटेज ऑफ इट. So please don't mind even my words. When the time is important, please do whatever you want it. But when the time is not important, you want to take 2 to 3 years gap, you have everything on this world, on YouTube or in Telegrams. So you have a lot of choices. Okay, give me a second. I have important call. Very sorry. Now, what are the runtime errors that you have? First day, so please don't mind, because so many students are coming to the sessions and asking different doubts. They should know what actually they are asking, right? They really don't know. Even when I was preparing for gate, I also don't know whether I can crack the gate or not, and the same doubt you will also have. And many your friends or many people, they may say different things like go there and come here, and please don't worry about all these things. If you believe that you can do from here, and do it. If you don't believe it, don't do here, because you have the plenty of options in front of you. Only the thing is, just believe what you want to do in your life. Anything is possible. Only the thing is whether you believe it or not. That is the first most important in your life, right? अगर आप अनअकैडमी को बिलीव किया और हम जो यहाँ पर पढ़ा रहे हैं हमको बिलीव किया, definitely you can crack from here. If you don't believe, you can't crack from here. That's obvious, right? So अगर आप believe किया, so then start blindly. Don't ask the questions, right? You ask the questions means you will never believe anybody in the world. That's obvious, right? So those people who really believe, they never ask the questions to anybody. Remember that point too. Division by 0, that's correct. What else you have? Who is that? Sheila, great. Yes. Stack overflow errors, yes. Infinite recursion, that can create stack overflow errors, correct. What else you have? Division by 0, stack overflow, and out of bound access in array. Like array 100 elements declare किया है, but you are trying to access beyond that 100 elements addresses, then definitely there are so many errors, you will see them. Yeah. True. So you got the point, right? You are going to learn this compile errors in our subject, but बाकी जो errors है आपको कम से कम अवेयरनेस होना चाहिए. व्हाट्स लिंकर, व्हाट इज रन टाइम एरर, व्हाट इज प्री प्रोसेसर, ऑल दिस आपको पता होना चाहिए, राइट. एंड डू यू नो व्हाट इज सिंबल टेबल दैट यू लर्न स्लोली? कितने लोग को पता सिंबल टेबल? ये तो डायरेक्टली गेट क्वेश्चन भी है. एवरीबॉडी नोस इट इज ए डेटा स्ट्रक्चर, बट ये किस टाइप की डेटा स्ट्रक्चर है? एनी अवेयरनेस? You can build this symbol table using array or array of pointers or even hash table. There's a combination of different types. It can be implemented in many ways. It can be implemented using array or what else? Pointers or hashing, many ways. What it stores attribute information of identifiers. ये समझने के लिए आपको कंपाइलर पढ़ना होगा कि कंपाइलर ही बताएगा what is attribute and what is that attribute information and what is identifier. उस identifier तो पता होगा. Every identifier has some information to be stored in symbol table, so that will be used by compiler for in different phases. So in different phases, this symbol table, every phase is going to access the symbol table. Every phase can access or modify symbol table, depends on its requirement. Great. ये है आपको लिए बेसिक्स जो जरूरत है before starting compiler, like what is compiler, what are the phases of the compiler, and what is symbol table, what are the different types of errors, right. एक और the important the information है how the C language, the C code, when you give to this translators, it produces the machine code. But how it is possible? इसके अंदर बहुत सारे ट्रांसलेटर्स होगा. Example, the C code, when you give to preprocessor, it translates to the C code which do not contain the hash include statements, hash define, hash if, hash end if. So any statement which begins with hash, the preprocessor can understand, will translate to absolute C code or the C code without preprocessor statements. Now the actual compiler will deal with your C code and translates to assembly code. यहाँ भी C code है, but without any preprocessor statements. And this assembly code is given to assembler, and which translates the assembly code into the relocatable machine code. इसका मतलब होता है the machine code can change its addresses like assigned to the data or the instructions. The relocatable machine code means if you have written x is equal to 10, that has to be stored some address. Alright, x should be stored in some address, and these addresses may not be available at runtime, so could be changed in future. So compiler and assembler do not know what addresses will be used at runtime, so randomly it assigns the addresses, and later the linker and loader comes into picture and will help you to understand all these details. Now this will be executable. Okay, this is about the C language process. Yes, Sheila, they can ask anything. There is no bound for asking the interview questions. They can ask what is compiler, they can ask is a compiler software hardware, they can ask what is preprocessor, they can ask what is a linker and loader. They could ask a lot of questions in interviews. I hope you understood today's introduction class, and tomorrow we are going to begin with the lexical analysis. And if you want to know about all this, right, soon we are also going to have the practice sessions. Like today you have one session, tomorrow you will have the daily practice problems, like daily interaction, daily doubt sessions, or daily the practice session for what you have learned today. अगर किसी को भी डेली अटेंड करना है तो अनअकैडमी के अंदर यू कैन ऑल्सो कम टू द फ्री क्लासेस एंड जॉइन अस एंड टू लर्न मोर अबाउट कंपाइलर. तो यहाँ पर तो बेसिक्स है, आज इंट्रोडक्शन क्लास है, यहाँ पर आपको वेरी लिटिल बेसिक थिंग्स पढ़ाया है, बट एग्जाम के लिए जो जरूरत है व्हाट इज सिंबल टेबल एंड व्हाट इज कंपाइलर एंड व्हाट आर द फेजेस ऑफ कंपाइलर, ये आपके लिए जरूरत है. अगर आपको पता होना चाहिए, और ये कंपाइलर की बारे में, और कंपाइलर में तो इतना फेसेस तो बताया, बट इसके अंदर और भी है इंफॉर्मेशन, वो है एनी अवेयरनेस. ऑल द फेजेस कैन इंटरैक्ट विथ व्हाट दिस सिंबल टेबल, करेक्ट और नॉट? they can interact with one data structure which is symbol table, and all of them can interact with one error handler which can help us to report or handle the errors if any. So one error handler, it is also a program which can help us to handle the errors or report the errors, any phase which is producing errors that can be handled or reported by this error handler. Okay? You can see some of the questions which can help us to understand what we have learned so far. Okay, you can see this kind of questions you can face in interview or in gate. Symbol table can be accessed during which phase of the compiler? Lexical phase, yes. Syntax phase, yes. Semantic, yes. Syntax, yes. So all the three you should answer it. because all the phases can access the symbol table, correct? So all the three, so lexical, syntax, semantic, even other phases like intermediate code generator, code optimizer, or code generator, intermediate code optimizer, as well as assembly code optimizer. Now, which of the following error can be identified by a compiler? Yes, lexical error by lexical phase, and semantic error by semantic phase, and syntax error by syntax phase. So all these three errors, identified by a compiler. And what is the output of lexical analyzer? If you look at the phases of a compiler, the output of the lexical analyzer, before that, the input is character stream, output is token stream, right? So what is the output of lexical phase? It is token stream. Input, if they ask, we should answer character stream. And what is the input of syntax analyzer? The input of the syntax analyzer is the token stream. If they ask output, they should say it's a parse tree. What is parse tree? We will learn slowly in the chapter. Okay? That is the input. So what is compiler? So this is for assignment question or homework question. So take it as homework and put in your comments below this video. And what is this compiler? Is it machine independent or machine dependent? And it is MSQ, so multiple questions or multiple options could be correct. Is it portable or not portable? In general, the compiler is what? Okay, so you can easily answer this question. Let's see who will answer in the comment. So if you can answer it, is very well. Then not, then we will discuss in the next session. If anybody want to join our Unacademy classes, you have the best price right now, 9,999. That gives you access to every class, every live class, every recorded class, computer science, data science, what, 1,000 plus, of course nearly 10,000 practice questions, placement batch, interview questions, semester exam preparation, what else? Coding problem solving and one-to-one mentorships and this has everything. And I hope this code will help you to get the subscription under this price. If you don't get, then you can approach us, we may help you. And so you can see that this year rankers and what I say 9,999 is a limited offer for 9 months subscription. You get this offer for plus. Yes, if you want physical notes and other one-to-one guidance, so 15,999 can help you to prepare for 9 months. The code is same, CSDA for everything. And also you have the 2 years preparation. The price is 17,999 for plus and 23,999 for iconic. And from 13th July you have the DBMS, which is going to be starting. So you can enroll to this course to begin your preparation. Similarly, all other batches, DBMS is going to start. So you can begin your preparation. When test series, which is already launched on Unacademy, if you want to take only only test series, not the subscription, you can also pay 1,499, but you will get after applying the code, which is CSDA. When data science also same price is available, you can also opt for it if you are interested. Yeah. In case if you do not know how to follow me, you can visit unacademy.com/IITB. You can follow me and my classes and as well as other educators if you're interested. Thank you so much for joining this session. Yeah. Daily nahi hoga, alternate days. Today is a session and day after tomorrow, and all the planning details are shared in yesterday 7 PM session. अगर आपको इस channel की accessibility है, so you can go to the 7 PM session yesterday and look at every subject schedule is given, date as well as time, so you can follow the schedule and so that you can join the sessions. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you everyone. Bye bye. See you then.